friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making a dress inspired by Barbie as Swan Princess. So it is officially March, and that means it's time for the March Disney Bound Challenge. And this year there are some really interesting categories, one of them being Barbie movies. And let me just say that Barbie movies are really, really good. If you are of my generation, I feel like you probably agree with this. It was a shock to me to realize how much other people also loved Barbie movies, because I felt like that was just a weird thing that I was obsessed with and continued to be obsessed with as a full adult. I don't know. It was a magical time, especially Barbie and the Nutcracker, which I did do a look from, which was so fun for Christmas. But my friend Aya, who is amazing, you definitely follow her on Instagram, This Life of Aya. Here's a picture of her, icon. She also has a YouTube channel that you should check out as well, but she texted the group chat and was like, okay, Barbie collab for the day of Barbie, and we were like, yes. So here we are doing a Barbie movie collab, and it's gonna be really cool. She's gonna edit everyone onto the VHS covers, so I have a plan for this dress. I don't have a lot of time. I finally finished working my 9-to-5 job that I was working for the last couple months, which was taking up the entirety of my life. So now I have more time available to craft things and make things again, which makes me very happy because I missed you. What I am going to do is go get supplies at Joann's Fabrics, which I also haven't been to in a long time. It's gonna be like, I'm coming home. So let's go ahead and jump to me going to Joann's Fabrics. Here's Lo. We are both wearing the Taylor Swift cardigan. That is a fact. That is the way that the day is rolling for us. Honestly, I'm here for it. It's iconic. I am shooting on my new camera again. This is my first time taking the camera out into public. Hopefully it's not super embarrassing. I don't know. I'm already embarrassing most days, so it's fine. But we are off to Joann's, and we will see you once we arrive. Okay, we have arrived. We have a cart. It's normally there's a bunch of stuff here. Lo, what is this? Is this all cute cottagecore things? Michael's is like this too right now. Everything they have is so cottagecore. BU. It's very cute. What is this? Is that a spray bottle?
A little mister. I want it.
Oh, that's cute.
I have a little air plant.
Oh.
I don't know if that you use it with that, but
Well, you could. I think you very well could.
it's 40% off.
Yeah, it's all charade. Everything's always 40% off.
Yeah, right.
But it gets me. So, what does that say? So I walked around and looked at different things, and I actually think the best way to make the skirt petals that are quite large and structured is going to be with felt as well. So even though I still have some pink felt for my witch's hat, I'm going to get blue. I'm going to get a little bit of pink just to make sure I have enough. And then for the top of the dress, I'm going to use the foam that I use when I use sparkly sticky foam, because I feel like that's going to look right on the top, which I'm just going to probably hot glue onto a pink corset, and then have the blue or pink tutu skirt kind of underneath. Maybe do some sheer sparkly tulle on top of that to give it a little more dimension, but I think that's the easiest way to do it, especially for a collab that's kind of, I'm not trying to recreate the entirety of the dress, but make it look enough like the dress. So that's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead, grab these, get all the fabric cut, and then I can go look at the other stuff that I need.
Okay, your total's going to be $27.52.
Okay. So unfortunately, it looks like they don't have the glitter foam in pastel shades, so I think I'm just going to have to glitter it myself with a glitter spray, but I can grab the light pink and the baby blue foam, and I think that'll be the top of the corset. Alright, well, we found almost everything we needed.
And some things I didn't need, but I got anyways.
That's what happens when you come here. Actually, I did an okay job. I only am buying these cat ears. Bunny ears for Taco. I put this up for the detailing on all of the petals. Oh, I got that really cute print too, but decently well today. So I have all of my supplies now. Let's go ahead and jump into working on this dress. I think I'm going to start with the bigger petals, cutting that out from the felt. So I'm going to need to make all those different sizes, and then I'll go to the smaller petals, and then we'll start glittering them. I think that's the order we're going to go in. So let's, I guess, go to my floor, because I'm gonna need a lot of space. And let's start cutting out these petals. Welcome to the floor. It's very exciting here. I have my felt in blue and in pink. And then I also have my foam, which was disappointing. They didn't have sticky foam in the pastel shades, but I guess I shouldn't really be surprised. So we have the baby blue and the pink to make the top part on the corset. So, since I think the more difficult thing is going to be to cut out the felt, let's go ahead and start with that. I'm going to pull up some reference pictures to kind of see the shape, varying kind of petal sizes and stuff, and then we'll just start chomping away. So I feel like this is a really good reference photo because you can see all the different sizes of like these petal feather things. And I realized even on her arm, zoom in, it's actually a similar thing, just I feel like it looks much more sheer. So I do have some tulle lying around. Maybe I can use that. I'm not sure yet. But I see now that I need the little tiny blue ones up top and then varying sizes of the pink and the blue. So there's like a lot to work with here. There's a lot of different sizes. So I think I can kind of just feel it out and try to get enough, hopefully, in order to cover the entire skirt. So let's just start doing a couple of different sizes. Maybe I'll start with the little blue ones and then move on to the bigger ones. So let's do it. The first thing I did was fold the fabric just in half so I can make sure that I'm making double the pieces with like the smallest amount of work. That's just basically like whenever you're making fabric pieces in general from a pattern, usually you're folding the fabric over just so that you're getting both sides of that. Here, obviously it's not super important, but I thought that it would make my life a little bit easier, so I did do that. And then I just kind of traced it all out pretty wildly with the pencil. And then I cut those little pieces out with the scissors. So these are just all the little small ones that are going to be on top. And I'm basically just going to repeat the exact same process, but for the larger pieces. So now that I have my small little pieces, I pulled out the skirt that I'm going to be using. So I am not doing like a full-length dress like her because it is still, you know, vaguely Disney bound, even though I'm kind of crossing into cosplay. So my petals are definitely going to need to be sized a little bit smaller because I want them to, you know, look appropriate on top of this skirt, and I've got a lot of different petals that I need to have on the front of this. So, with this, I can figure out exactly how long these should be. So, yeah, it's really only like half the felt, and I don't want them to go all the way down to the bottom. So I feel like they're going to be a lot smaller than I originally thought, but these will kind of be, once I flip them, at the waistband here, kind of creating that same aesthetic that she has, which I think will be really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and start cutting out the blue, and then we will switch over to the pink, and I'm really excited at how it's coming along. In order to make sure I didn't make the pieces too long, I just drew a line, and I switched from the pencil to the Sharpie because the pencil is just taking a lot of effort to try and make these lines. Obviously, if you're worried about, you know, seeing the Sharpie or whatever, you might want to use a pencil, but I knew that I was going to turn these all inside out anyways, and then I made a couple of different sizes so they can kind of lay at different parts of the dress. So I got all the blue ones done, I switched over to pink, and I actually was able to use the blue pieces as a little bit of a guide for these pieces as well, as opposed to having to pull it out and resize a bunch of things. I will often do this. If I have pieces that I made, I'll just use that as an outlining kind of thing in order to make my life a little bit easier. And I just cut everything out with the scissors again until we had all of our large pieces. So let's go outside. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you can see him, but there's the cutest little bird. He looks, oh no, he's gone. He was so cute. He had a little sprig in his mouth. Hello to the next phase of this, where we are in the great outdoors! AKA my backyard. The birds are chirping, sun is shining, and we have tulip color shot glitter. I do love this stuff. I think I've talked about it a lot in past videos. Maybe I should have bought 2 of these, but here we are. So I got the silver glitter. Shoom. Tulip color shot silver glitter. So it does come in more like solid colors, but I just want to do like a light glittery dusting on these. So I'm gonna do these. I cleaned them up a little bit and I chopped them in half from the like halves that we made. So I have all of my petals here for the bottom of the skirt. So I'm just gonna do a big with this guy, and then I'm probably also gonna add some glitter to the blue skirt, which I also brought out here. And then I have the more intense glitter paint in order to make the design on them. So I don't know how well this is gonna work, but let's just go ahead and start off with the general glittery sparkle. So I just laid out all of my pieces flat so that I could coat them evenly with the glitter spray. This is definitely more of a subtle detail, and honestly, you probably aren't going to see it in any of the photos or videos, but in person, it'll give it a really nice, light, kind of shimmery look. I will also use this kind of stuff if I'm making like floral Mickey ears. It just adds a really pretty kind of extra shimmer to everything. So I made sure to get every piece front and back, and then I went ahead and also added a little bit of a layer to the tulle skirt that I'm going to be using for the base of this. Okay, so now we have the basic layer. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of the detailing like I saw kind of on the original design. So I'm going to pull that up and reference it here. This is almost impossible because the amount of reflection that's happening. Alright. Tried to show you in person here, but I'm just going to show you a picture. But you can see that there's all this kind of detailing on the feathers slash petals. I called them petals, but now I'm realizing they definitely are feathers. So I'm going to try and add some of that with these glitters that I have, just on some of them. Not the little ones probably, I think look pretty simple here, but let's just go ahead and try to add a little bit of detail, and hopefully this will all dry this afternoon, and then I'll be able to add it to the dress either later today or tomorrow morning. So luckily for me, this actually worked out really well. I'm definitely will be using this glitter glue again because it came out really evenly, and even when it didn't fully come out, I was able to kind of go back over that area and fix any problems. So I literally did every single piece, and I did in the end up doing these small little pieces as well, because even though I couldn't really see it in the big photo, I realized that they did have a little bit more detail on them, and I figured if I had the extra glue, I might as well make every single one look nice. So everything out here looks good. I honestly think it looks better than I expected, so I'm going to leave all this out here to dry, head back inside, and then come back out here, and hopefully it'll be dry in probably like an hour, hour and a half, I'm gonna guess. I want to make sure that the puffy paint does not move, so I want to make sure that it's really, really dry, and I can start working on some of the other pieces. It's gonna be on the corset top. Okay, car, vroom vroom. Hello there. It is actually the next day. I did bring in all the pieces yesterday. They dried really quickly, which was great, but then today it is like super cold and rainy outside, so I'm so glad that I did do that yesterday and did not wait until today. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I am going to cut out all the pieces for the top of the corset, so we'll do that with the foam. We'll glitter those, and then we'll start hot gluing everything. And in theory, by the end of today, we should have a finished dress. So I'm very excited. Let's go ahead and go back down to the floor and finish up some of these crafts. So very quickly, let me just show you how cute these turned out. All of them, like, honestly turned out way better than I expected. The glitter glue, I have all the small pieces. So I have all these pieces. These are all prepped and ready to go. So I'm now going to be doing the pieces at the top of the dress, which I had bought the little foam sheets for. And now I'm looking at it, and I'm wondering if it would be better to do this in felt as well, so that all the colors are exactly the same. Interesting, because I could do it in the foam or I could do it in the felt. I don't know why this didn't occur to me until just now, but if you look at the tones, they really are just like, they're similar. I'm looking here in the, they're similar, but they're definitely different. I mean, oh, nuts and bolts. I think I might have to do felt. That might be the thing that makes the most sense. Let me look at a picture of the dress again. Okay, after referencing the reference photo again, I think I actually should use the felt, and luckily I have a ton more felt, and these are very small pieces, and maybe I should also try to cut out some pieces of felt for the little arm things, and then everything will look very cohesive. That's what we're gonna do. I've decided. It's happening. All right, let's do it. Sorry, foam. You will have to live another day. So I did a very similar thing to make all these pieces. Honestly, I'm glad that I used the felt. I think it would have been really weird if it was a different material, something that I didn't realize in the beginning. So again, I just drew them all out. This time I was using the Sharpie right away, made my life easier. And I did the pink ones first, both in the small ones, with the fabric folded over, so I made a bunch. I knew I was gonna need a lot of the small ones, and then I also did in the blue felt. And I kind of made these weird, wonky pieces for the arm ones because they just kind of were this interesting shape that I wanted to get right. Okay, we have all of these pieces. So I am going to chop them in half, the ones that are not already in half. A lot of these are. I'm going to add glitter to them. Again, I guess is the best way to do this. And then we will hot glue them onto the corset and the dress. So back outdoors. Thank God the sun actually came out, so hopefully these will be able to dry quickly. Here I just did the exact same process. First sprayed them with that glitter spray and then did all the detailing with my little glitter glue pen. All right, so we have that all done, so now I'm going to let that dry, and as that dries, I'm going to remove this fuzzy pink from this corset that I was using for an Elle Woods costume, I think like 2 Halloweens ago now. So I'm just going to seam rip. I just like sewed it on at the top. And then we will start gluing. Very exciting. I just used a seam ripper to take this off really quickly. If you ever have a very easy stitch, a seam ripper is the best way to do it. Okay, well, the other camera's battery died, and I can't find the second batteries. So here we are on the phone camera, which is currently plugged into my laptop. But I'm going to go ahead and start kind of just laying out a design pattern for how I want the feathers, I guess we'll call them, to look. I find that whenever I'm working with something that I'm going to hot glue down, I'd much rather kind of lay it all out first to make sure I like the setup, so I don't regret it after I've already glued it and I can no longer fix it. And looking at the pictures, I think at least 2 rows is appropriate. If I can do 3, perhaps I should do 3. I'm not sure yet how many this is going to yield, though. So I definitely could have made more of these pieces. I kind of had to work with what I had because I was being a little bit lazy and I really didn't want to cut up any more felt, to be completely honest with you. But first I just laid everything out the way I want to see it, which is, like I said, the best way to do it. And then I hot glued everything down into place. The next thing that I'm going to add here is the little piece that goes underneath. And then when coming down, kind of like her corset is. So I'm just going to use the blue felt again and basically cut out a shape that kind of underlines this upper part here. So I just cut out a strip and then kind of molded it to that shape of the underbust. Ended up having to cut it into 2 pieces to make sure that I could still open up the corset in the center. Then I also added a little bit extra felt to be those kind of boning lines she has. Okay. And with that, I will call this corset top finished. Awesome. Hello, gang. It is actually the start of another day because, whoo, Lord, this has been a multi-day project. I'm drinking my green juice because it's before 10 a.m. So the next step is to add to our tutu here all of the pieces that we made that first day. So I'm going to be looking at the design of the pattern of the skirt and then just adding these on top. So let me reference those photos, do that, and then see if we can try to make some sort of an armband out of these. I think if I like sew some elastic together, it would be reasonably cute. Not sure. Gonna go for it probably. But I do need to get this done today because I have got to get these photos to Aya. So I'm going to try to do this as quickly as I can and get all these photos taken by 12. Let's see if we can make that happen. First, I did my best to kind of lay out the pieces in a way in which I felt like it looked natural. They were all kind of at different lengths, which I was kind of made aware of the fact that some of these were a little bit too short. So I kind of had to pretend that they were longer by sticking them underneath other pieces. And then I just hot glued everything down, so you can see here. And then I went all the way around the skirt with those little pieces just to make sure it looked pretty all the way around. Okay, now that our skirt is done, the last thing I want to do is try to make some like armbands. So I don't know exactly if this is going to work. I have an idea if I take the elastic that I have. This one's more like sparkly, but it might be a little bit too thick because I'm kind of looking at the picture of her and you can see like there's a very thin sort of band that's holding all these feathers together. But I'll be hot gluing these onto something, I think, or maybe hand sewing, kind of depending on what's gonna stay. So my thought is, like, maybe this I could chop in half and then just make it so that it's, you know, pull-upable onto my arm and will stay there. So not too tight that I can't, like, get it on, but just tight enough. And then if I sew everything on or hot glue it on, I think that it should kind of create the aesthetic. It may not be perfect, but I think it could be pretty good. So, first I am going to measure this here. Once I measured the length and cut it, I just took my little needle and thread and I hand stitched this, keeping that little ledge on the inside of it. Basically, I did this 2 times, 2 pieces, so I could have pieces for both of my arms. But this is a very simple sewing thing, so don't worry if this makes you nervous. It's very, very easy. There's a lot of tutorials you can find on doing simple stitches. And then, sorry this footage is bad. I got the wrong angle, but I just hot glued everything on, and I had 2 armbands. Okay, so those are all of the pieces of the outfit. I'm gonna go ahead and put them all on, put on a wig, take some photos, and then we will see how this Barbie as Swan Lake Princess Disney bound / cosplay turned out. Alright, and that just about sums this video up. That is the finished dress. I'm gonna be honest with you, I did film the ending wearing that dress. I don't know what happened to that footage. It is gone. I also made this dress a couple weeks ago, which is why I had to get it done because I was making all those edits kind of a little bit in advance. But we are here today in the now in the editing. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was really fun to make. It definitely took me on a couple of twists and turns, but I definitely saved a lot of time by using an existing structure and then just hot gluing all of these pieces on. But I would love to make, you know, a more advanced version of this dress, obviously in the future. One of my goals this year is to make a full ball gown. I just am trying really hard to get a couple of other things moving as well. I did make my first Depop sale. I sold my first Depop item just the other day. So once that's really up and running, I'm definitely going to dive in trying to make my own clothing. So you'll be seeing more videos, crafting / sewing things for me, but that is all for this one. As always, you guys can follow me on Instagram at Kaz the Queen of Glitter, especially if you want to see how this amazing collab turned out. You can also follow me on Snapchat at Kaz Queen of Glitter. Kaz the Queen. I'm going to put it... this is bad. I can't even remember it because it's such a weird... You can only have so many syllables. Anyways, you can also follow me on TikTok at The Queen of Glitter, and you can subscribe right here on YouTube to The Queen of Glitter. But that's all for me today. I will see you guys in my next one, but until then, stay sparkly. Bye-bye!